welcome to the third episode of Gaming News Tonight. We've got a big one for you this week. There's almost too much to cover, really. I had to cut a lot out, so if there's anything I'm missing that you really wanted to hear about, you can let me know in the comments that you're not mad, just disappointed. Harper's around here somewhere, but she was too cold to run around in front of the green screen since the heat isn't on in our apartment yet. We'll check in on her later. I would say I don't know where to start this week, but that's not true because I write everything down in the order that it happens, but my goodness was there a lot. Tonight's top story, Cyberpunk is delayed again. We'll get more into that later, but here's everything else that happened this week. Microsoft is releasing a Mandalorian-style Xbox controller on December 31st. The design looks really cool and comes with a charging base as a lot of their themed controllers do these days. But it's $160, which is pretty high considering that it's just a regular Xbox One controller, not even the Series X with a share button or the updated D-pad. Still, $160 is the best price you're going to get as scalpers are going to snatch them up and sell them for $250 on eBay. PlayStation 4's God of War is going to let you transfer your save file to the PlayStation 5, which is more than we can say for some other titles, but at least Sony Santa Monica didn't have the audacity to change Kratos' face. Dragon Ball Z Kakarot has a free update out that adds a card battle game. No one is really sure why, but at least now when you get bored collecting orbs, you can play cards. The nonsense with the Oculus Quest continues, as it was learned that if you delete your Facebook account, you lose all the Oculus games you paid for. You can disable your Facebook account and reactivate it later and not lose anything, but if you permanently delete your Facebook account, all those games are gone, even if you create a new account later on. In related news, hackers have figured out a way to bypass the Facebook login of the Quest 2 by jailbreaking it, but this is probably not the best idea and you'll lock yourself out attempting it. At the very least, you won't be able to update the device, so maybe the best thing here is just to save up your money for a better VR set. The PlayStation 5 is going to automatically record a video when players unlock trophies, similarly to how the PlayStation 4 grabbed a screenshot. I'm not sure who wanted this since a lot of achievements are just for finishing tutorials or missions and aren't very exciting. Additionally, the PlayStation 5 has less than a terabyte of storage, so if these game captures are stored locally, that's going to eat up storage really fast. Halo Infinite's director has left the project, which is always a good sign, especially after the game was already pushed from November into next year. LEGO Star Wars The Skywalker Saga is releasing spring 2021. The game will let you start the saga anywhere you want and features remade levels from the first two games, which is very exciting.
Help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi. You're my only hope.
That boy is our last hope.
As well as new levels from the new Disney movies, which is not.
Your sister Leia sent me. We need your help.
BioWare has revealed conceptual plans for their 2.0 overhaul of Anthem. Nothing has been confirmed or started, but the changes look pretty promising if you want to play Destiny with jetpacks. Can't believe I have Sims 4 news 2 weeks in a row considering how many years that game has been out, but there's going to be a free update that's adding over 100 new skin tones to the game. In addition to the set tones, there will also be sliders that let you tweak the skin tones even further. EA has said that they're working with consultants to make sure the skin tones are accurate and fully representational, which is certainly better than simply picking colors from a palette. It's also a nice change of pace to see EA doing something good. Spider-Man Miles Morales is going to be adding his costume from the fantastic Shame on You if you haven't seen a Spider-Verse movie. On one hand, this is super exciting. On the other, it's kind of a bummer for all those developers who worked on the other costumes that aren't going to be touched now. Ubisoft issued a statement this week to assure fans that development on Beyond Good and Evil is, quote, going well. I'm sure. Gears Pop is going to be shutting down its servers in April 2021. I forgot this game existed. I'm still not sure who it was for. Tonight's top story. We should have seen this coming, considering how the rest of the year is going especially. Cyberpunk 2077 is delayed until December 10th. Reportedly, employees of CD Projekt Red found out the same day as the rest of us. Might seem shocking at first, but as someone who works for a software company, I can say that it's actually pretty normal. These decisions aren't made lightly, but usually pretty quickly, and you have to put out a PR statement as soon as possible, especially with a company like CD Projekt Red, where employees haven't signed NDA agreements. The last thing you want is for a disgruntled employee to leak the news that your AAA title is delayed before your PR team can make a statement. That said, this is really frustrating, and not because we have to wait longer to play this game. It's frustrating because fans have been pretty vocal that they want CD Projekt Red to take their time with this game. It's also frustrating because CD Projekt Red told us that they weren't going to make their team crunch to meet their deadlines, but they did to reach November, and now the game's getting delayed anyway, so what was all that for? Sounds like this current delay is because of current gen console performance not meeting expectations. If that's the case, maybe stagger the release across the different generations. That happened with a few titles when the Xbox One and PlayStation 4 came out for cross-gen games. I mean, I don't know how to run a company, as evidenced by this weird show that I'm making, but don't tout yourselves as this moral business when you're making your employees work as hard as they are. We all want this game to come out, we all want it to be good, which is why everyone has been so patient and understanding when these delays happen, but I think most of us just want the employees to be treated well, other than a few idiots who have been sending death threats. I'm by no means telling anyone to boycott the game or any others with similar situations, but as fans we should care about the treatment of those creating the entertainment that's being provided for us. We should continue to be vocal, not just in supporting these developers and companies that need more time finishing these projects, but also in condemning those that have bad business and employment practices. This isn't a call for torches and pitchforks, but CD Projekt Red has social media, Rockstar has social media, Ubisoft has social media. All these companies we keep hearing about with the ridiculous hours and grueling conditions, make your voice heard. Let them know that you care about the people who work on these games and that you don't want to support companies that perpetuate these working conditions. For every Cyberpunk and Call of Duty and Assassin's Creed and Red Dead Redemption, there's an Outer Wilds and Hellblade and Stardew Valley and Hollow Knight. There are so many amazing indie developers and studios. We need to remind these giant corporations that they need us more than we need them. I think that's enough high horsing for me this evening. Thank you all for joining us this week. I hope you learned a lot and tasted a lot. We'll see you next time on Gaming News Tonight.